Lucario, Blastoise, Greninja all getting nerfed, and every single Pokemon you want to see buffed or getting buffed, we might potentially see the best update, the biggest update in quite a while. Let's get started. You guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy, Assassin Dave. Welcome back to Team 4 and Famous Family again. Today, we're going to cover the biggest patch update in quite a while, patch 1.5.1.6. There's so much exciting stuff to cover after this update, and we're going to do a dedicated live stream tonight to cover all this update, test everything for you guys so you can see what is buffed, what is nerfed, and how they work in actual practice in the highest rank possible in Pokemon Unite. So without further ado, let's go ahead and read through this entire patch notes and talk about the ramifications of all these changes. Number one to the list is Pokemon changes with Crustle. We got a little bit of change with X-Scissor. The cooldown has been reduced from 9 seconds to 7 seconds. I don't think this is going to change much for Crustle. I think with these changes, attack damage Crustle is going to be more interesting to play and more fun to play now. But Crustle overall is still kind of a cringe Pokemon in my opinion. It's definitely not going to be the number one meta. Our team, we run Crustle all the time. We run Crustle in the tournament, but we run the Stealth Rock in order to rip objective really fast. We have X-Scissor changes that doesn't really affect us. So let's take a look at Blastoise, one of the most interesting changes. Rapid Spin, no longer unstoppable, now resists hindrance. Basically, when you use Rapid Spin, you're kind of like Greedent. You're not completely unstoppable, but when people throw Call Control at you, you're going to be slowed. So that means someone like Cinderace with Red Buff is going to be a great counter to Blastoise. Imagine you keep yourself at a distance and just auto attack. The Red Buff will effectively slow you down and you can't really move. Now, if you think about Gardevoir now, you can actually learn Psychic instead of just the future sight to give you movement speed and shield so you can run away. With Psychic, you can actually slow them down and they will be kind of slowed instead of just running towards you. But obviously, if they're unstoppable, they can just straight up just get on top of you and spin you down. Now, we have Hydro Pump, got a little bit of buff, 8.5 seconds to 7.5 seconds. So right now, Hydro Pump is more relevant than ever. And you have Unite changes. Damage ratio has been drastically nerfed. The damage increased, the damage scaling from per level 27 back to 22. That means it's 5 damage nerf times 15 to 75 damage nerf all the way to level 15. Alright, you have base damage reduced from 1400 to 1040. Finally, we got seeing a huge nerf on Blastoise Unite move. Blastoise Unite move is doing way too much damage in my opinion. It's literally one-shot any squishies. Like if you're playing Gardevoir, if you're playing Greninja, you probably experience this. Yeah, you can try to run away, but if you get touched, or let's say you take Greninja and you have like full heal or whatever, right? You can full heal, but if you get touched by that Blastoise Unite, it's still gonna run through like, I don't know, 60-70% of your health, and you just like, what just happened? Alright, let's take a look at Greninja Nerf. The surf damage has been reduced. The ratio being reduced by quite a bit. 25 out of 225, which is about 10% nerf actually. That's pretty decent. And you have per level changes. This the scaling has been nerfed also. The base damage has also been nerfed by 10%. So overall, I think it just got a 10% nerf, right? If you look at a ratio from bonus damage, you got base damage being from the bonus damage all nerfed for about 10%, 20 out of 200. So overall, I think Greninja will not be affected that much. Level 5, Greninja might not be the strongest, but level 7 with Surf, like fighting Cinderace, fighting Decidueye, fighting everyone really, with Surf damage is really strong. You can reset off the small wall Pokemons and get your HP back, and while doing a lot of damage at the same time. Now, we are seeing the Lucario nerf. Extremis Plus, the ratio has changed from 15% to 7.5%. Again, I don't think this is sufficient. People are saying, okay, Dave, how many Lucario nerf do you need in order for Lucario to be at a decent place? You gotta understand, Lucario power spike is a level 5. The extreme speed is immediately strong, and all they're nerfing is extreme speed plus, the damage increase, the bonus, when you have the extreme speed plus. I don't think that's sufficient at all. The thing about Lucario is the baseline is so high, like all the other Pokemon just cannot compete, you know? So they're nerfing, like they're shredding a little bit. And I can guarantee you, with this nerf, Lucario is still gonna be the number 1 Pokemon playing the top lane, uncontested. It's just so strong, like with the extreme speed at level 5, it's gonna help all this other, you know, Pokemons in the jungle, like if you play Cinderace, you play Greninja, to really protect the early game and help them skill. So Lucario extreme speed nerf, I don't think it's gonna change anything at all. The Power Punch knows to be determined. We don't know what happened with Power Punch, but extreme speed is really not nerf at all. Nobody is relying on extreme speed plus damage bonus. Everybody's just using it for the base damage, especially when you have attack weight, you have Razor Claw, and it just goes in, like it crit, right? Proc the Razor Claw damage, but it also procs the slow because you're considered as a melee Pokemon. So when you go in with extreme speed, people actually get slowed for some reason. Like I think overall, Lucario just too busted. It needs a 50% nerf on extreme speed. Because again, right now people who play extreme speed, they're using extreme speed for damage. But I don't think Lucario should do damage to extreme speed because it's too much mobility. They should use extreme speed for mobility only and use something like close combat, extreme speed onto the target, close combat and do damage, and extreme speed away. Add a little bit of cost to extreme speed, right? Instead of extreme speed and just use use a Bone Rod to reset extreme speed and do it again. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think that's too overpowered in a game that doesn't have, for a lot of Pokemon, that doesn't have a lot of mobility, right? When there's so many wild Pokemons for this target to jump onto. And the worst part about it is those wild Pokemons are the only farm on the map. It's not like any other MOBA. There are two sides of farm, right? Like there's minions going through this side and minions going through this side. There's farm. You can guarantee your farm by sitting on the tower. You can guarantee your farm by kind of play safe. But with extreme speed, with Pokemon Unite, there's only wall Pokemons. You have to contest them. If you don't contest them, you get no farm. Especially for a lot of top laners. Outside of Lucario, there are not so many Pokemons that actually has no evolution. So they really need to farm. Where Lucario doesn't need evolution, so Lucario always get those level ups, no matter if he gets farm or not. Let alone how powerful Lucario really is. The push and the dash in the early game to secure those objectives. So I don't know, Lucario just need a huge major nerf. And I think it's time already to really just got this Pokemon where we don't see it for a while, right? Because I think we see too much Lucario for so many seasons now. And I don't know, developer told me like they need more data. I was like, okay, all right. That's a great excuse that doesn't work. All right, let's take a look at Hoopa. Unite basic damage, ratio nerf, per level nerfed, base damage nerfed, hyperspace fewer damage. I think that's your stun. All right, ratio nerf, base nerfed, side beam damage, ratio nerf, per level nerfed, base damage nerfed. Okay, so basically Hoopa's damage all got nerfed with the Unite move. That's very, very good, right? I don't know how much it's gonna affect you Hoopa as a Pokemon, because right now the resets over a macro with this Pokemon is too strong. And then now no people actually match this, right? Imagine being completely out of position just because you have Hoopa who sits on pad and who can just defend like top to bottom that easy. I think what Hoopa needs to do is all teleportation skills needs a major nerf, right? You can use Hoopa Portal, the cooldown can still be as short as it is right now. I think the inherent cooldown on that skill need to be much longer, like at 30 seconds. If you take Hoopa Portal all the way to the top side, within 30 seconds you cannot pour back. If you take the Hoopa Portal back to base, within 30 seconds you cannot use the portal again, right? Basically you can pour back, but the next portal is going to be a 30-second cooldown. So same as like top to bottom to top rotation. I think that's fair. If you give Hoopa like a 10-second inherent cooldown and you can go top, get the beast, you know, get advantage and just pour back, I don't think that's fair, right? Like basically you're making a huge macro decision without any punishment. I think that should be nerfed tremendously, the cooldown on the hyperspace hole. And also regarding the Unite move, I have to see how much damage it really nerfed, like once we test it in game tonight. So make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and turn the bell into all notification bells so you can join us on a daily live stream and see us test all the changes. All right, let's take a look at Cincerace. Blaze Kick damage has been nerfed. Now, nobody really uses Blaze Kick for damage. Blaze Kick is interesting skill. Blaze Kick just offers the attack speed, the bonus that people needs, right? Also the reposition, the fact that you can jump to wherever you want now with the last change. Cincerace Blaze Kick is still going to be super meta. I don't think the damage nerf is going to do anything to him. The Pyro Ball plus damage, actually not damage, other move CD reduction has increased from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. So right now, if you learn Pyro Ball plus, if you learn the flame charges, you can flame charge a little bit more. I don't see this being like a game changer. Really, we'll see. 4 seconds is quite a bit though, cooldown reduction. I still think Blaze Kick might be the strongest in the game. But don't underestimate Pyro Ball. If you're playing bottom lane attacker Cincerace, Pyro Ball might be really good, you know? All right, let's take a look at Azumarill. Azumarill probably got the biggest buff of them all. Stats. This is from level 1 to level 15. You get a little bit of HP changes, right? So level 15, you get about 150. And then level 1, you get about 50 HP. So basically, you're just a little bit more tankier. But it's not that much. Like, it's 150 out of 7,600. I don't even know percentage-wise how much that is, to be honest. That's like 1 out of 75. 1 out of 75, that's not that much change, percentage-wise. Lifesteal, though, level 4, level 9, you get a lifesteal now. So I don't know why Azumarill didn't have lifesteal before, but now you have lifesteal 5 and 10%. So right now, if you spin on them with your skills, you can do a lot more damage. Aqua Tail, close damage, ratio increase. Close boosted damage increased. Every damage from Aqua Tail damage increased. Fire damage truly increased by 22%. Now, if it increased by 22% of the 82, that's over 25%, over a quarter increase on the damage ratio increase. So basically, if you scale towards the end, Aqua Tail is going to do a lot more damage from far. Now, the only thing with Aqua Tail, with all the skill is, it's truly going to do damage if you crit them. That means if target is alone. So the one-on-one power from Azumarill is really increased. I don't know if Aqua Tail is the way to go, though. I think the other one where you're close combat is still probably better. Fire boosted attack, look at this damage, 40% scaling increase. That is basically, again, 1/4, because it's 160, right? So basically, like, you're increasing damage, the power of Azumarill by 25% for Aqua Tail. Play Rough. Play Rough damage has increased by a little bit, 1/4, right? 25%. Now let's take a look at Gardevoir. The most interesting thing about Gardevoir is now your evolution is level 8 instead of level 9. So basically, you can become like really early power spike. You can get your Unite move fairly early. As long as you jungle with Future Sight, Sidekick, you get your Unite move and you can go to lane and just become a monster. HP also got increased, attack damage got increased, the defense, special attack damage got increased. Oh my goodness. The special defense got increased as well. Confusion ratio per level. Confusion not really important. It's just basically like, you know, the basic skill. Side shock damage ratio increased. The ratio, the per level, the base damage all got increased. Side shock plus also got increased. The bonus to hit 4 to 4.5%. So I think Gardevoir is going to be a really strong Pokemon now. I think maybe we'll test the Gardevoir composition back again, because we haven't played Gardevoir because of the existence of Blastoise, because of the existence of all those unstoppable Pokemons like Gardevoir and all that. We can't stop them. They just run you down, and it's really annoying. So now with changes to Gardevoir where you get your power spike at level 8, I don't know if it changes all the other skills. Maybe you get like your Future Set earlier. If that happens, Gardevoir might be the best Pokemon in the entire game to be picked up, you know, on the side lane, to be honest. Like, because Gardevoir literally has the biggest problem is power spike wise, because, you know, it's just how late you need level 9, and also you're so squishy, people can dive you really easily. So with these changes, I would love to see where Gardevoir is in the meta. All right, let's take a look at Tsareena. A fairly small buff. The stats from attack damage, all levels, level 15. So you get 20 points out of 440. So that's like a 5% change, right? That's not even that much. It's such a small change for Tsareena. So I don't think this buff is gonna do anything to Tsareena. Tsareena is at a comfortable spot. The only problem with Tsareena is just it needs so much evolution, and it's only good for team fight. Tsareena suffered the same problem with Charizard, I would say, right? Charizard is much easier to use. Tsareena takes some skill, takes some practice, takes some proficiency, but both of them have the same problem where they're only good in team fight. They're not really good at ripping objectives. They're not really good at securing objectives, right? They don't have that ability. If you put Tsareena in the team fight, they're gonna rack things up. They're gonna destroy everybody because Tsareena is so mobile, have so much shield, so much regeneration. Another problem is Tsareena and Charizard cannot get a Unite off. It's problematic since the beginning. I think they should change it, but I highly doubt this Pokemon is going to become meta with the Lucario still being what it is. All right, let's take a look at Slowbro. Let's take a look at Scold. Damage increased by 25%, 1/4. That's ratio, by the way. The base damage is increased by 30 out of 130. So again, about a 1/4. The burn damage ratio increased as well. Base damage increased as well. Burn attack reduction. So basically now if it burns you with Scold, you're not going to do that much damage. I think this is going to be really good. I really think it's going to be good, right? Because right now in team fight, Slowbro is really known for the Unite. The Surf, all that kind of crowd control is okay, but the Unite move is game changing. You know, especially now with Scold, you can basically scold somebody, right? And then Scold cooldown is fairly short. You can constantly scold them, and then so they will do little to no damage. 40% damage reduction is huge. Imagine that to a Lucario who's diving in, right? You just scold him. I think that might be the play. Unite cooldown, I don't know what this is. 12,000, 120,000 damage, 110,000 damage. Sorry, energy. I don't know what this is, to be honest. I thought Unite is working on time, but apparently they're using energy. I don't know what that means, but if you look at it, if you look at energy amplifier's item, they don't say cooldown reduction. They say energy charge rate, right, for your Unite. Maybe like every single Pokemon in Pokemon Unite has an inherent energy charge rate, right? When you KO it, it charge a little bit of energy. It charge you a few thousand or 10,000 or 20,000 energy. But Slowbro's cooldown is so long, the Unite move. So I'm just glad that we got a Unite change where Slowbro can use more Unite more often. With Scold, you can farm a little bit faster too. Overall, like I love to see Slowbro in the meta a little bit more. I think it counters a lot of the hyper carry Pokemons, especially with Scold now. If you're Venusaur jumping in, you can Scold the Venusaur and you can use your Unite move on top of him, you know? Or you can use Unite move on top of him and use Scold after if this Pokemon doesn't die or faint. Let's take a look at Venusaur. Venusaur got a Solar Beam buff, right? The ratio has been changed by 4% out of 25. That's not big. That's not that much. Base damage has been changed. Let's take a look at Blissey. The Egg Bomb. Damage has been nerfed. Oh my god, thank you. Thank god, please. You know, the base damage on Egg Bomb is way too high. It makes no freaking sense whatsoever. But the healing is increased. The reason why is Soft Boil and Egg Bomb combo. If you learn those two, the charge rate for those skills is no longer 8 seconds, 5 seconds. That means you're not only gonna get 5 eggs when you get your upgrade at level 12, but probably level 10. That's when you get all your five eggs. Now you have 5-second cooldown, right? You can use 5 eggs. You're probably gonna get 2 more eggs on top of it. That means you're gonna get 7 eggs. So I don't know. This feels insane on how much healing you're gonna provide to the team. So I really like to see more Blissey like in the game. I think Blissey is just gonna be broken, if anything, right now. This Pokemon looks really good in the current meta. Aegislash. Aegislash Secret Sword, knockup duration to be determined. I don't know what this means. I think they should nerf this because the knockup duration is way too long. Aegislash already do way too much damage. Let's take a look at Dragonite. Dragonite attack damage stats has been increased by 25 points out of 500. So if you divide that, that's like 4%. That's not that much of an increase. We'll see how much that will actually affect the in-game for Dragonite. But Dragonite is gonna get a really cool battle pass hollower. So I think Dragonite is really popular Pokemon in the Pokemon community. So like overall, I think Dragonite, get a tiny buff, it's okay. Right? Dragonite is already pretty good, to be honest. It's just like, it feels short and competitive, but in solo queue, Dragonite is really good. You can secure objectives. You have a lot of mobility. It's really hard. It's really tanky on top of it. So overall, Dragonite gets a tiny buff on attack damage, buffed everything, like your scaling, your outrage, your hyper beam, all of that changed. So Dragonite is nice, you know, with the tiny buff. It's comfortable. Mr. Mime, unite to be determined. Debuff duration. Maybe we're gonna see a little bit change on Mr. Mime to make Mr. Mime even stronger. Mr. Mime current unite is already as annoying as it is. So if they make it stronger, it's just gonna be annoying. All right, Sylveon, Mystical Fire. Fix the bug affecting this move's use against wild Pokemons. Now, basically what it is Mystical Fire doesn't affect Pokemon who are retreating. So for those who didn't know, for the longest time, I didn't think it's a bug. I just thought that's how they designed it. Basically, like when you use Mystical Fire onto let's say you're trying to fight a red buff and an orange buff, somebody may call it, but we just call it red buff. The little bull, you know, you're fighting outside the little pit and the bull is chasing you. And then now after it chase a little while, it's retreating. If you use Mystical Fire on a retreating Pokemon, it's no longer gonna do damage. The Mystical Fire simply doesn't chase those Pokemon. I don't know how that is or how that works. It's cringe, it's stupid. And now, apparently that's a bug and it's being fixed. We got an item change. EXP Share active ability. The EXP per second has been changed from 4 EXP per second to 5. So people who carry EXP Share is gonna get more XP now, faster XP than before. So if you're an Autogas or Hoopa player, rejoice, because that's a huge increase. That's a 25% passive experience increase. And I think that's quite awesome. All right, guys, I think that's it for all the patch notes right here. I do think overall this patch note is gonna shake up the meta quite a bit. We're gonna see a lot more Slowbro, we're gonna see a lot more Gardevoir, even potentially a lot more Azumarill on the top lane. With Azumarill attack damage change, HP changes, lifesteal, and now like huge change of Aqua Tail and play tough. You know, you can actually one-on-one really well. You solo carry the lane, split push the lane, you know, get your Unite up and all that kind of good stuff. What do y'all think? Leave a comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe, turn the bell onto all notification bells. With that, I'm signing off. Love you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now. Just for the thrill of it.